okay, Stacey, I get it. My words matter, but I'm exhausted and I feel like I'm lying to myself. This was a question that came in from this community recently in response to a video about the power of our words, and that if we want to create a new reality, it starts with our words. And oftentimes that's met with yeah, but I feel like I'm lying to myself. So how do I navigate this gap between what I want and my current reality and when they don't match? And this particular client, she's working many, many hours and she's feeling exhausted, and she has a vision that's different than that. And the place that we want to start is really having that crystal clear vision of where we're going. And then we notice our words and our thoughts. And are our thoughts and words more in alignment with our vision or with our current circumstance or our current condition? So the vision may be, I love the time freedom that I have. I love that I have the time to go do things that are important to me. And the current condition may be, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm too busy. Well, if we're still in the language, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm too busy, we keep perpetuating that same result. So it's up to us to start to change our words and our thoughts to be more in alignment with our vision and what it is that we want to create. Here's the thing. We're lying to ourselves all the time anyways. If you ever can imagine spending a day alone with your thoughts and listening to the thoughts that you're thinking, and most of the thoughts we're thinking are not true. We're telling ourselves these lies and these worries all the time. We're just not aware of them. So in the beginning, when we have a vision and we're working with that vision and we're starting to think from that vision, we don't believe it at first because we're not seeing the reality of it. But it first starts in our thoughts. It first starts in our words. And the more that we speak our vision, we speak our affirmation, we speak our goal, what happens is we start to believe it. We start to feel it. It changes how we show up in our current results because we're thinking about where we're going. We're thinking about what we're creating. We start to take some action steps in the direction of that vision. And pretty soon, our current conditions and circumstances begin to change. Where we do have more time, where we do have more flexibility, where we're investing our time in our hobbies and things that are important to us. So when it feels like I'm lying to myself, yeah, we are lying to ourselves in the beginning. But we know we must use that power of the mind, that everything first begins as a thought before it will ever exist in our physical reality. And here's the piece about this. This sounds really, really simple, right? Change your thoughts, change your reality. Change your thoughts, change your world. It sounds really, really simple, but it's not easy. There's a rigor to noticing the thoughts that we're thinking more expansive thoughts, thinking from our vision. And Wallace Wattles, in his work, he talks about how hard this is to think truth, to think from a vision when we're looking at conditions and circumstances that are unlike that vision, requires more effort than anything else will be called to do. This is very, very simple, but not easy. Anybody who has accomplished anything great in their life, it first started as an idea, it first started as a dream. And at first, they probably didn't believe that they were capable of that or that was possible. They faced criticism. It felt like that gap that we would never get there, right? We would never be able to fly in the sky. We would never land somebody on the moon. We would never be able to communicate with somebody across the world with the touch of a button. All of these at one time were impossible ideas. And people would have said, oh, you're just lying to yourself if you ever think that can happen. It takes a special person to dream a dream and to think from that dream when the world of circumstances is saying this isn't possible. Stay true to your dreams. Stay true to your vision, noticing the thoughts that you're thinking. And as you think more and more from that vision, watch what begins to happen in your physical reality. Simple, not easy, but what's on the other side of it is absolutely worth it. Here is to you living a life you love.